everyone. Hope you're enjoying TED Summit so far. So today, actually, it's my third year attending TED Summit. Yet it's the first time to present on TED Summit. I used to come to TED Summit, thanks for Alan for keeping this event every year, to learn a lot about the industry and about the ideas that is being shared, take a lot of takeaways back home, and see what we can localize and put into action dealing with our customers. I'm happy to be presenting Cequens today, and I'm happy to be here today with the industry most creative-driven and technology-powered companies. And I believe I was lucky to see the progression of the programmable telco industry for the past 10 years, and I've been also lucky to witness the birth and the growth of Cequens. And today, I'm going to share with you our journey, starting as an SMS aggregator, which a lot doesn't use their word nowadays, and the progression towards being a CPaaS provider. So we believe that Cequens is a result of the digital era and the communication edge. We serve a lot of the big names in the MEA region, a lot of the big brands. We provide for them a carrier-grade connectivity and engagement and authentication solutions. So what we do, Cequens, we provide smarter enterprise communication for seamless digital transformation. We serve more than 1,000 customers. We started 8 years ago, and we enable them throughout these years to reach more than 6 billion consumers. These are some highlights about Cequens. We have 80% coverage of the Middle East and African region. We have our in-house proprietary developer platform, which we are proud of. We have a good brand in the Middle East, and we have a progressive, comprehensive products portfolio that we would share today how we came up with and how we built it that way. And our platform is PCI DSS compliant. So our journey started 8 years ago. We started as another SMS aggregator in the market. And then we faced a lot of challenges with our customers, barriers that we will share today with you that shaped our products. So first year, we started as another SMS aggregator in the market. We had the following insights. SMS was the mean or the universal communication channel. Now, of course, not as P2P, but A2P was growing massively. There was only, SMS became the standard for notification for most of the industries, primarily financial sector and banks, but later on, a bit later, it was used by all the other industries. And one other fact that a lot of central banks in the GCC area enforced the SMS as the mean for standard communication for any financial transaction. But by that time, all operators only facilitated action and the connectivity, the pure connectivity for the enterprises. So the only option for connectivity was SMPP, which wasn't that easy for most of the enterprises. They have lack of reporting. They just terminate messages. A need for an ongoing support, and I would even say on-site support for a lot of them. And for some of the businesses that operate regionally, they needed connectivity in multiple countries, which was difficult to go to each and every country to get the connectivities there. So we came up with our first product, which was our SMS APIs and Connect Portal to give them more insights about the transactions that they do, delivery statuses, and so on and so forth. And worked on getting carrier agreements, signing carrier agreements with most of the countries that we worked for. We closed the first year with a total traffic of 78 million transaction, which was beyond our expectation by that year, and it made us feel that there is a huge potential, and we can take it to the next level. And we signed 10 direct agreements with carriers in the region. Moving to 2012, it was the Arab Spring. We had the revolution, and we had been facing general instability in the region, politically and economically. We also started getting requests from the enterprises we serve that they need guarantees for decentralization. I recall by that time, it was the first time that we received RFPs stating that they need a specific requirement for the uptime and the availability due to the issues that we have encountered with the internet and the connectivity by that time. And internally, due to these instabilities, we started working on forming some global offering for bridging connectivity to the Middle East for global enterprises. So, of course, it was a perfect fit, moving because we were looking for decentralization and regional expansion, and of course, we wanted to look more onto more effective and efficient operational cost. So it was a perfect move to migrate our systems to the cloud. Only by that time were we were able to provide 99.96 availability through our SLAs to our customers, and we closed 50 deals for our cloud notification systems. The following year, rolling out our cloud services, we've bumped to the barrier of, the inherited barriers of compliance. And by that time, we realized how important it is, especially in the region we serve, is the local compliance with regulators and internal policies, our corporate policies. So we've also realized that we first came up with these APIs that we wanted to serve and provide it for developers. But we've realized, yes, we do have a lot of developers in the region, but we don't, by that time, we didn't have the large community and ecosystem for developers that would fully utilize our investment on our platform. And going back to a lot of the government entities and the banks, they had a struggle moving to the cloud. So we had to take one step back, or that's what we thought by that time, and providing on top of our cloud offering, the hybrid solutions and on-prem solutions, which we considered by that time as an accelerators. And we also worked in parallel on our platform being PCI DSS compliant. But amazingly enough, by the end of this year, we've discovered that we're able to lower the delivery failures for most of the enterprises that we serve by 80%. And that was due to a very simple fact that most of these enterprises didn't have the right queuing mechanism at their end. So they used to drop a lot of the messages on the way. And we also, which we weren't expecting at all, that this holded or reduced our churn ratio by 30%, because these on-prem accelerators or solutions worked as a barrier for other vendors to come in and work with these customers. So it wasn't bad after all. In the year 2014, we've started seeing that the mobile network portability was offered in a lot of the countries we serve, and it's being adopted by the subscribers. There was a massive demand for communication. People get used to receiving these notification messages from the retailers, from the banks, from all the brands they work with. But at the same time, some of the large institutes had internal policies stating that they have to work directly with the operators. So the operators by that time started charging very high charges for the cross-net termination. Reaching 4 times. So I would say that if the regular SMS would cost $1 cent, the cross-net or the port number would cost like $4 to $5 cents. With the rise of the usage, it became these enterprises started receiving crazy numbers on their bills. Of course, versus the quality of delivery. So we came up with a brilliant solution, which we called True North. It's an advanced routing engine that route based on a real HLR lookup. And that way we were able to overcome all the number portability issues and eliminate these charges. We actually managed to work with one of the largest banks in Saudi Arabia, I would say the largest in all the GCC. And they were terminating billions of transactions a year. And plugging in that platform, we managed to save them more than 22 of their costs, which was represented actually in millions of dollars. And that reflected on our profitability by 8%. So again, what I'm trying to share here with you that how we came up with that portfolio. It's not like we came up with a set of products and then we went to the market and to figure out whether it's a market fit or not. We study the feedbacks, the challenges that our customers face, and then we form our portfolio accordingly. Although we are a very tech company, but we wanted to play it the other way around, to validate the ideas of the products that we launch. So the year 2015, it was all about the omnichannel hype, omnichannel experience. Everybody's looking for other challenges than one-way communication, especially with the rise of the social media and the millennials using social media. We've witnessed 60% mobile penetration rate in the region and around 40% smartphone penetration rate, which was represented more than 200 million subscribers, and that was only in the MENA region, Middle East and the Northern African region. So enterprises were looking for two-way communications, omni-channel experience, and of course, measuring these engagement. So we added to our products our voice APIs, which was session-based, so they had more insights than either the old one-directional SMS for notifications, two-way SMS APIs for subscriptions and service activations. We've added email integration, and of course, analytics to give them more insights about the engagement. In that year, we launched more than 50,000 SMS and voice campaigns, and we increased our revenues by 10% from non-SMS services, which was actually our objective by that year. Moving to 2016, it was the digital buzz, and that year was another turning point to our offerings. Of course, digital transformation work as a key for realizing the full potential of the businesses. But a lot of these enterprises didn't envision how would the value chain look like after going digital, and they had a lot of struggle because of their legacy systems, especially that a lot of these legacy systems were very stable, so they weren't open of the idea of upgrading them. But with the huge engagement they're seeing from millennials over social media, they also think about, they have a lot of business automations, and of course the digitalization difficulties arising from legacy systems they are using. So we came up with our integration platform, which a lot would see that it's not part of a CPaaS offering, yet we've realized that this integration platform works as a perfect enablement for all our other CPaaS offerings. And we rolled it out. We managed to fully integrate with different banking systems in 21 days, which was, again, a turning point for us. And that worked as an enablement for our services later on with a lot of the opportunities that we worked on. And once we had that integration platform in place, we were able to add any other integration point in 3 to 4 days. Last year, it was about conversational experience, the more personalized experiences. We received endless use cases from customers, and the challenge was the number of customization that is being requested versus our team size versus the time to market, of course. So they were looking for very high and very frequent customizations that keep adding to their systems and their experience. They want to empower the user with the customer-centric experience, of course, both of these versus the time to market. So we came up with Workflow Studio. We've seen earlier a lot of other global companies launching their Workflow Studios, and we started working with our Workflow Studio. It's a drag-and-drop tool, but we used it differently. We used it internally through our operations team, so that way we were able to move these incoming customizations instead of being developed by our engineering team to be handled by our operations team. And we've noticed that this enabled us to reduce the time to market by 30% and actually reduced our internal costs by 5% because we freed these engineers to work on other products and services. Later on, we launched it with a couple of our enterprises, but initially we wanted to use it internally to boost our time to market. So this year, 2018, we've seen a lot of initiatives and we've seen a lot of discussions related to the conversational experience. When we say conversational experience, of course, we're talking about bots and the chat apps putting the SMS in the backseat. We've seen businesses pushing on more insights about their ROI for all the initiatives that they take. So they were looking for engagement, experience, and measuring their ROI. We started this year by our chatbot platform, and we enrolled in the RCS initiative. We actually took a lot of steps in the RCS. We've enrolled in the early adopter programs for Google RCS program. We've built 2 POCs, which we showcase, Crédit Agricole Bank, one for a bank, and another one for a ride-sharing, Karim ride-sharing provider. And we've worked with 5 other customers on a consultancy basis. That was the first part of the year. We are now working on adding more features to our chatbot. We're seeing a lot of demand with the customers we serve in that area. And next, we're planning to add the WhatsApp for Business and Apple Business Chat to our bot. Yeah. So throughout this journey, we've seen a lot of challenges. We've been bumped with a lot of barriers. We've worked with a lot of countries, a lot of customers in a lot of countries. And we've realized one main thing, that you can come up with a product or a solution that will solve an individual challenge. But to fully embrace digital transformation enablement, which is the end of mind for all these enterprises, they need a solid platform. They need someone to show them the way through a consolidated platform that is cloud first, mobile first, and AI first. It doesn't matter which challenge you would start with, but at the end, they would want to continue to reach that. This is how our current portfolio look like. We have 2 products families, our cloud platform and our communication center. This is how this is an overview on how we plug in all our products to work as an digital transformation enablement. These are some facts about our platform. We handle billions of transactions annually. We have 900 plus alternative routes where our platform is hosted in 5 data centers, and our uptime is 99.6. That's all. Questions?
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you for all the weblogs. So go to blog.tadsummit.com and you will see some excellent weblogs from Cequens describing their experiences, sharing what they've done in the MEA market. So I think you're a great example of this localization of CPaaS and really the sort of digitization of so many different business processes. So well done with those weblogs. First, opening it to the audience. Any questions for Karim? Okay, just time for one. So who feels they have the higher priority question? Age before beauty.
So Karim, can you tell us a little bit more about the new and exciting non-traditional modes of messaging that you're playing with, in particular WhatsApp and Apple messaging, and how you integrate those?
So there's we're not an official partner so far. We're working on adding these challenges. We can see definitely demand, a very high demand. There is a lot of use cases. I mean, like, it's set how would the future messaging or conversational experience would look like. So now it's about which provider would be taking care of that part. But there's a lot of use cases for banks. We serve a lot of banking and financial institutes. There's a lot of use cases for healthcare. We see very brilliant use cases from a lot of startups, which, from a revenue perspective, there's a lot of use cases with banks, financial, healthcare, and education. But we also see a lot of use cases with very brilliant startups that we want to carry on. So at this stage, we don't, we can't speak about specific use cases since we didn't add them yet officially to our platform. But for the RCS, we've worked on a full proof of concept for banks, one of the banks, and we've done it with one of the ride-sharing. We've done a lot of others, but these are the 2 that we actually usually demo in the event.